Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention now? It gives me great pleasure to invite you on behalf of the Indian Consulate of Queensland to the 75th anniversary of India's independence. Happy Independence Day to you all. May I begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we gather, their leaders, past, present, emerging. We're indeed indebted to them. May I also acknowledge the presence of the Honorary Consul for India, Mr. Archana Singh, and also Professor Singh, and all distinguished faculty that is here today. Thank you for coming on a busy working day. Without much more to do, we'll have the official flag raising now.
Sing the Indian anthem followed by Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we shall have the Indian national anthem, followed by the Australian national anthem. Please join in for the Indian national anthem. The microphone's going.
Lower pitch, please.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
We'll have the Australian national anthem. Please come forward to sing. Okay.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and free. With golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's stage, let every state advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I now call upon the Honorary Consul Mrs. Singh to say a few words. Please come forward, Mrs. Singh.
Namaste, good morning everyone. And very nice to see you all here on a very busy work Monday morning. So thank you all. On 15th of August 1947, when India woke to freedom, it also ushered in a shake-up of the old order and became a model for decolonization and independence all over the world. The inspiration, the grit, the determination, and the struggle, the immense sacrifices made by freedom fighters and ordinary people of India along the length and breadth of the country, filled with hope for a life of freedom and self-respect, which was to be achieved in a non-violent way, is worthy of the highest praise. Indian democracy and the message of Mahatma Gandhi will always inspire the world. Where forces of peace, security, human rights, and justice appear on the retreat in the face of rising threats of war, terrorism, hunger, and disease, the lessons learned from India's struggle for independence become more relevant and critical. Today, on August 15, 2022, India celebrates Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, a day of celebration, introspection, and a renewed commitment to the journey ahead. Over the last 75 years, India has channeled her civilizational strengths and cultural diversity into a new future, with opportunities for achievement, progress, and prosperity for its billion plus citizens, an inspiration for the rest of the world, indeed. Post 1947, India's journey has become a great example of an impressive growth story. The journey highlights India's expansion, ranging from agricultural production to nuclear and space technology, from affordable healthcare to world class educational institutions, from Ayurveda to biotechnology, from giant steel plants to becoming an IT power, having the third largest startup ecosystem in the world, amongst a host of other major breakthroughs and achievements. Recently, the 16th President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, was sworn into office. Her appointment has proved the litmus test of the true progress India has made on so many levels. The Honorable President, in her speech, said, and I quote, "I belong to a tribal society, and I have got the opportunity to become the President of India. This is the greatness of India, the mother of democracy. Reaching the post of president is not my personal achievement. It is the achievement of every poor in India. In this election of mine, the courage of today's youth of India to walk on new paths out of the old ruts is also included. Today, I feel proud to lead such a progressive India." End of quote. India has nurtured some of the greatest minds of all time, whose inventions and discoveries shaped the world we live in today. The great Indian mathematician Aryabhatta invented the numbering system and gave the world the gift of zero, as we all know, without which mankind would not be able to reach the moon or build supercomputers. Possibly one of the greatest contributions of all time is Ayurveda, the ancient science of life, and yoga, which date back to more than 5,000 years and which have now been embraced by the whole world as the most holistic wellness movements aimed at the alleviation of the human mind and body. As a nation, India has come a long way in the fields of science, maths, technology, and as we commemorate 75 years of India's independence, India's focus on diverse IT services and emerging technologies will play a major role in shaping the future of the country for the Amrit Kal, or India at 100. So 1947 was just the start. Our Honorable President, again I quote, said, "We have to work at a fast pace in this Amrit Kal to fulfill the expectations of our freedom fighters. Over the next 25 years, the path to the accomplishment of Amrit Kal will proceed on two tracks: everyone's effort and everyone's duty." End of quote. Modern India's international prestige and standing have rested on it being viewed as an open, pluralist democracy, one that supports a multicultural, secular society. The kind of capability that India has shown in facing the corona pandemic has enhanced India's credibility all over the world. India has made a record of applying 200 crore doses of the corona vaccine. The restraint, the courage, and cooperation shown by the people of India in this entire battle is a symbol of our growing strength and sensitivity as a society. During recent times, rising commodity prices, surging inflation, supply shortages, and shifting geopolitical realities across the world weigh on the growth outlook the world over. That notwithstanding, India will likely reign as the world's fastest growing economy. The Reserve Bank of India has projected a GDP growth of 7.2% for the current fiscal year ending March 23. This buoyant mood has been reflected in India's wonderful performance at the Birmingham Commonwealth Games recently. The 61 medals at Birmingham were won in disciplines that have never been won before, many by women, making it a very impressive performance indeed. And thanks not just to bilateral efforts, but also to partnerships like the Quad, Australia and India now cooperate on a wide range of areas, including counter-terrorism, mining and refining of critical minerals, cyber security, infrastructure financing, maritime security, space exploration and security, strategic research, supply chain resilience, sustainable energy projects, as well as vaccine manufacturing, to name just a few. After more than a decade since negotiations first began, the Australia India Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement was signed on April 2nd this year. Entering into force in the second half of 2022, this will eliminate tariffs on more than 85% of Australian goods exported to India, valued at more than Australian $12.6 billion per year, with the potential to increase to almost 91% over the next 10 years. And from the Indian perspective, 96% of Indian goods imported into Australia will be duty free. This announcement is a major step and will create significant opportunities for Australian and Indian workers and businesses on both sides. The Australian government is aiming for India to become one of Australia's top 3 export markets by 2035 and to make India the third largest destination for outward Australian investment. The Australia India relationship has been nurtured by shared values and ideals, traditions, and sustained by the numerous avenues of interaction and cooperation between the two countries, and is cemented by the love of cricket. So, as Australians of Indian heritage, we are proud of what we bring to the wider community: the love of colour, zest for festivals and celebrations, our respect for diversity, our entrepreneurship, and ability to work hard, as well as our rich heritage and culture. In this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, let each one of us pause to consider how we can play our own individual parts in this wonderful journey ahead. So, thank you, everyone. Jai Hind. And now I request Professor Singh to address us, please.
Mrs. Archana Singh, Honorary Consul of India, you gave a wonderful speech, most informative, made us very proud of our country. Ladies and gentlemen, India is a very old country. Trackless centuries whisper into our ears, and in a history spanning many millennia, the length of the British regime in India was less than the blink of an eye. The average life of all Indian empires has been in the vicinity of 150 years. The British Empire did no better, achieved little more. British supremacy in India was established only after the revolt of 1857. So from 1858 till 1947, was indeed less than a century. So the story of Pax Britannica bringing unity to India, which India had never known, is a figment of British imagination, which is quite contrary to the past history of our country. Now, looking at India's development, looking at India's progress across these 75 years, gives us a sense of satisfaction, gives us a sense of achievement, gives us a sense of arrival. We have a government that perseveres and works hard as it must for the welfare of our country. We have a Prime Minister who doesn't care for praise, who doesn't care for condemnation, and lives up to the ideal of Bhartrihari. Nindantu niti nipuna yadi vastuvantu Lakshmi samavishatu gacchatu vayathishtam advaivavam maranamastu yugantareva nyayat patha pravicharanti padam nadhira. People who consider themselves wise may give you praise or may condemn you in categorical terms. The goddess of wealth may embrace you or may shun you and run away from you. You may die today or you may die after a long time from today. What matters most is you do not swerve from the path of rectitude, from the path that is dictated by your duty. So, my dear friends, it is a matter for rejoicing that we have arrived at a new signpost and we have achieved a great deal. One thing we must always remember: what is a country? What is a nation? It is you who make the nation. It is you who give it substance. It is you who give it meaning. It is you who make it proud. Rashtrani, I'm forgetting that, it means that the people, Rashtrani Vishanivai, the Rashtra consists of the people, and the people have to give evidence of their devotion to that Rashtra through the realization and the performance of their duty. That is something that that is most important, that is most vital. The country's future lies with its people. The country's future lies in their devotion to what is right and what is their duty. Thank you very much.